What is good, my nasty ass wrestlers? If you guys don't know me, my name's Isaac, and I post a new video here on my channel every single day. Always about wrestling, right? And I got a podcast about to show you guys that I pre-recorded with my friend Jesse. We go over all my matches. It stopped recording halfway through, so we accidentally skipped one match, right? I have another match. I'll post a video about that either today or tomorrow. That my third match, right? I think I only showed 3, the first, second, and fourth. The camera stopped recording for the third one. So I'll post that video tomorrow or today, depending on how my schedule is. Yeah, if you like my content, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Definitely show me that support. If you like this podcast, definitely show me some support. Show me you love it, because it takes a lot of planning, because I got to get people over my house, and I got to everyone's schedule's got to mesh up, and because I can't pay anyone, then it's really hard to get people to commit. You know what I mean? Definitely leave a like, leave a comment. Tell me what I did wrong. Tell me how I can improve, because I'm always trying to improve. You know what I mean? What is good, you guys? This is episode 3 of Shaping Matt's podcast. Here with my friend Jesse. He has been in one amateur fight. I have known him since preschool. Been my neighbor since forever. We've had a long history, a long patchy history. But alright, so first things first. We're gonna go over my matches that I had over the weekend. So I went to my...
This is almost like mini preparation for a fight in the next couple months for Isaac.
Yeah.
So it's more.
Yeah, the more I go to practice, the more I realize I need to prepare a lot more.
Which is good. Which is the more you get beat up, the more you see your weaknesses, the more you kind of realize your game isn't what you thought it was.
Yeah.
So it's nice to kind of go back to the basics.
It's good. But alright, let's start with the first video. 15:09. It's 5 seconds long. Oh, okay, so my girlfriend started the match. My girlfriend started recording. The match started, and I had immediately taken this kid down, did a double leg, taking him down, and I was in side control. Or I was working side control. Or I was working out of guard into side control. See? Yeah. That was the end of the takedown. And I was in his half guard right there. But I'm pulling his knee up. My leg. You see that?
Yeah, it's more. Yeah, he's got his right. It's a half guard, but you've got your left knee relatively near his shoulder, so he's got his right arm a little bit under it. I can't really see the far side.
Yeah.
But you for sure have dominant position, even though his leg is snuck in there.
Yeah. 18:11. All right. So this is a second later. All right. So he's got my half guard. He's trying to get my guard. I got I do the split in my base, trying to keep him off of my back. I got that underhook to stop him from turning around me, but I'm in his guard. So I base up. He's trying to go for wrist control. I'm trying to think of a guard escape. Any guard escape I got, I go for the Captain Morgan.
And that was while you were thinking, so is he, and he thought, okay, I'll open my guard, and that was just what you wanted, because you were thinking, okay, what am I going to do? I could dig into his elbows, I could do something, but as soon as he opened his legs, that's when you started kind of moving, and that got him.
Yeah, and I spit my mouthpiece out on purpose, because I got a $2 mouthpiece before, because you needed to wear a mouthpiece, and I couldn't breathe with it at all, because I had boiled it maybe 2 hours before. So I was just spitting it out in the middle of the match. Alright. I'm starting the match. Alright. I go for a slide by. It's weird because they go straight to their back. When they start the match, and I put the hook in, and then I go for a body lock because I feel like this kid's slippery, right? And look, he's defending the choke, and trying not to have any of that shit, right? I'm trying my hardest not to take any of that shit right now. I want to finish this match as quickly as possible. Alright. So he's defending. I got the body triangle. And then I push his nose up. And then I get the rear naked choke. Alright. And that was like, I think, a 1.5-minute long match. And then I think there was one more match, right? There were 2 matches. There were 6 people in the tournament. 2 matches happened at the same time. One happened on a different mat, right? And one happened in front of me, right? They both finished in like 5 minutes. Okay?
And that's the thing, like, especially with those tournaments, the way they're set up, or depending on how they're set up. Like, you could have a match, wait for someone's match to go, and then depending on whatever happens, like, you could wait a bit, do another one, but they try and get it all kind of done relatively in the same in the same order, so they're not kind of all over the place. But especially that, like, those other ones were done, so you were kind of going back to back.
Yeah, and it's like summer tournaments, you know what I mean? It's like you can have a freestyle tournament over here, and then like a folk style tournament, match right here, and a folk style match right here, and then a Greco match right there, and then like it all happens at once. And like I was conditioned for a 5-minute match, but not like 4 or 5-minute matches.
True.
You know what I mean?
It's a lot different.
So, alright, this is my next match. It's against this older guy, right? He was wearing headgear, so I thought he was a wrestler. And I was like, alright, I'm kind of tired.
Probably just had hurt ears.
Yeah.
From training or something.
He goes straight to half ashi, or he tries to go to half ashi. Alright, yeah, then he does get into half ashi. I got the underhook on the left side. I'm trying to get into his side control. I'm trying to posture up. Homeboy's like holding on to my neck. I'm like, I don't really know how to handle this situation because like I've honestly been to like maybe 10 practices.
It's putting the knee down like that. It's okay if you have the strength, and especially if he's like focused on your other leg like that.
Yeah.
But I'd rather just almost like scrunch up. Like I like getting my elbows in, not necessarily shoving their legs down, but getting my hands tight on their hips and inside on my chest, so there's not really a barrier.
Look. He had a heel hook, but he wasn't gonna get it. He had a heel hook, but like I was like just sticking my foot through too much, and I was controlling his neck.
Turned it into Achilles or something like that if you're putting it all the way through.
Yeah, I know. He's going for something. He kind of had something, and then he goes for a knee bar. And then look, this is like the big controversy. The ref told him you can't do that, right? And then that restarted the whole match.
And the rules stated you were allowed to do that, right?
Yeah, and the rules you were allowed to do that. And then I get into a head and arm, and I honestly have no clue how this guy didn't go to sleep.
His arm, instead of being completely across his face, seems to almost be over the top of his head.
Yeah.
So while it is across, it doesn't seem to really be
choking him
as far. And then when he does get his, he looks like one of those flexible little buggers, so he does.
Now he thinks he's got me in, or he's got me in, like a
little crucifix.
A crucifix, but I feel like I'm in a pinning combination. I don't know why. That's the end of that match.
It's completely different. It's
completely different in Jiu Jitsu. I know.
Wrestler versus Jiu Jitsu. It all depends on how you're feeling.
Completely different. I get out of the crucifix.
But I go back into regardless of what it is, like Jiu Jitsu or whatever, for like see that little pass right there is 2 points. Him getting out of a precarious position doesn't score him anything.
Yeah. I know he didn't score. I don't think. I don't like.
Even though it looked relatively even, like it, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I want to say that looked like an even match. Even though you might have been the aggressor, like he still looked like he was flowing well and he countered well. And when you did have those positions, he did get out of them. So it was kind of a battle between the stronger and more aggressive person versus the chill jiu-jitsu guy.
Yeah, I know.
And that's the thing, it just doesn't count, even though he played a game pretty well.
Yeah, he didn't score any points. And right here I'm trying to isolate an arm and he's bumping me. He's bumping me well. And like the only way I can defend his bumps is by grapevine my legs.
See right there, you already have your arm around his head pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And then you start to bring your right hand forward, which was right. You just gotta figure four and come forward.
Okay.
And then a little Ezekiel, like his face is already down, and so when you do come up off that, because he's gonna be turning and bringing his hand up, as he's coming off that, that's when you sneak in your hand.
Yeah, I haven't done any mount finishes in a long time.
It's tough, especially when it's like when it is no gi. It's a little bit easier if you got a little like a gi to grab on or like a lapel or something like that.
No, but I mean I never practiced gi.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I prefer no gi just because it's a little more practical, especially for MMA as well. You get used to the grips and stuff. But now a big hog in MMA, even when he's mounted, he'll put as like a protector, and guys will chill there if they kind of loop their arm around if you're in their guard.
Yeah. How do I go for this baseball bat choke, bro? So I'm in the mount and I'm trying to go for the baseball bat.
You have to untie your grapevine because you're not going to be able to get under him and turn the way you want to for a baseball choke.
Okay.
Without scooting up higher onto his chest. So you see how you kind of scoot it up right there? You have to commit to that. So when you are head down, let's say if you're coming from this side, I don't know, let's see, if you're coming from that side, do that. So if you're coming from this right side and you already have your right arm around their head pressure, I scoot up to their and almost like I'm doing S guard. You know, or going for an arm bar. But I have my right arm around and I gable grip, so my right arm is able to push their head up, while my left arm is going right into their like esophagus. I'm pretty sure that's how you're supposed to have it.
So it should be like this?
It could be like this, so because it's supposed to be right hand on the bottom, left hand on top. So when your left hand comes in, your back of your forearm pushes their head up. So realistically, you're going to have your left knee up like this, and you're going to be going like that. I'm pretty sure, because then that way it doesn't really make as much sense. It's coming in like that.
Yeah,
you do have to get to the top of their body rather than have a grapevine.
Yeah, and in a fight, like I would be punching this guy square in the face the whole time.
He's one of those guys that like he knows when you posture up, he knows how to. Like, that was the whole thing. You knew that exactly as soon as you posture up, he was going to get out of something. You know what I mean? That's why you had to smother, and that's why you had to grapevine him. As soon as you posture up, when you start throwing those punches, he's going to be bucking. And as soon as he bucks, he looked like one of those guys to get his knees in. And it's not like getting your hands and arms in. Like, when you're accustomed to getting your knees under someone, working like a butterfly guard, it's hard to posture up. So, like, what I've practiced, because I'm a little longer on the arms, mounting, I always had trouble staying on top of someone. Even if I was submitting, I'd posture up to do anything and someone would just kind of roll me. Even if I was nice and tight on their chest, I'd have to come up a little bit and they would just roll me over or something like that. So when my coach would be like, say knee on belly, like training, it's tough to do knee on belly because you don't want to be addicted to your training partner or something like that. But when you are knee on belly, it gives you an extra like 4 or 5 inches just to be able to throw stuff. Maybe not for jiu-jitsu and things like that. You maybe like a mount or like an S mount or something like that. But for punching, going from as soon as you pop up, if he tries to buck you off, switching right to a hard knee on belly, like right into their sternum, they can be pushing all you want. But when you're punching a punch, and they're going to be worried about that. It's tough to get a really hard leaning knee off your belly, especially if it's right in the chest.
Yeah. I feel like I'm decent at control. I just need to get my subs down because like there's so many like puzzles missing in my game, like puzzle pieces. You know what I mean? Like if I should have known to fucking go into side control and like go for the what's it called, the baseball bat choke, and like mainly what I've been working are like triangles. Like I've been working off my back because I feel comfortable on like getting to someone's back or getting to someone's mount or getting to someone's side control. I feel comfortable there. And what I've been working is like my weakest position, which is like off my back. And I have to really change my game.
Especially from here, usually what happens to me is I'll be setting up a position from mount, let's say whether it's an arm bar or a Kimura or something, and as someone's breaking out of it, I use that scramble to either continue with that submission a little deeper or I switch to something else. So let's say right here, if I was keeping a good pressure, I'd try and maybe scoot my right knee under his shoulder and get, it's super hard to, I can't really say it.
Yeah, so like, your right knee is under his left, his left shoulder. So he's like this, right?
Like scoot up a bit and drop. I would drop, almost like sit as my it's almost like
go chest to chest, right?
Not chest to chest, like as I'm kind of sitting on top of him, but as his arm is like, it's a weird kind of control for a guard for mount, but as let's say he comes up off of it, you still have the position to either, I feel like most people, especially if you're in a position, they commit to it and they end up rolling under back. If they have an arm bar or something on their mount and they get pushed over, they still commit to the arm bar, but they still fall to their back. When in reality, if you commit to the arm bar, you can just a little shift of the hips and you can sit the person right back down in their spot. And not a lot of people think that. They just think, oh, like arm bar, I'll just try and get my leg over, and they just end up getting stacked or something. But if they do go for it and someone rolls, not a lot of people have the courage to just kind of like base on their arms, scoot their hips up, and like be aggressive back with that position. So what I usually do from positions that looks like I'm about to lose, I kind of take that scramble and move from that. Even though my mounting game isn't good, I'm not a heavy guy. I can't really sit on people. So it's like, especially my coach is pretty good at going with body types. He's a pretty slick guy himself. So it's not like he's using a lot of his muscle mass and his pressure as well.
So where do most of your attacks come from? You're saying like...
Most of my attacks come off a scramble, but even if I am in a better position, I
so
never
you
feel
go
confident
from a
in mount.
scramble to like trying to get someone's back?
From someone's back, even if it's staying on mount, even if I'm in mount and someone tries to buck, they buck and they're doing a good job of it and they bring their arm out, sometimes I'll completely hop off mount and go for like a guillotine or something.
Yeah.
But it's all based off of a scramble from mount. Sometimes I'll bait as if I'm going for like a triangle, and I'll try and, because I'll know they're trying to get their hands under my legs to try and sneak out like the back door or something like that.
Yeah.
I'll bait one of my legs out so they get one leg, and as they're coming out, maybe transfer to an armbar. So as they start coming out like that, all I got to do is take a seat and roll back on it. So it's kind of thinking like that one step ahead, but I'm never like sitting in mount, especially with like a bigger guy or wrestler like you. Like, they're always aggressive, they're always bucking. I can't sit there and just control some guy like that. Even grapevining, I don't feel like comfortable because I'm not I got short legs and long arms, so even if I get rolled.
Yeah, and this guy did a real good job of not letting me get his back, right? He didn't open up his back, I think, really at any point through the match. Wait, is it not done? Oh shit, it's not done. Yeah, he did a real good job of like not letting me really get his back, and I was just, cause like he had done it before where like I was on his mount, and he bucked me off, and he gets his knees right under me, and I get into butterfly guard. You know what I mean? He's a real
butterfly.
crafty
So
guy.
like he can get his knees in real quick. He likes doing that.
And he doesn't really give me a chance to like.
And I don't know if he just isn't minding the head pressure, but if you did. The grapevine, it's good for controlling him, but it does limit you. It kind of does show like, okay, like I don't want to say like stalling. Like that one time they called it just didn't really make sense because it wasn't really a time of stalling. But like right now, like when you scoot up there, that's when I would almost continue scooting up.
Yeah.
Like even if it's he does have his hands on your hips, so that might be.
Because like see
as soon as
right
you
there.
postured up, the little bit of posturing up, and you letting go of that grapevine, and he does get into this position. But then he probably would have done the same position as last time when you would go to the crucifix.
Yeah, he was a crafty guy. He was like a lot thinner than me. Like it was the weight class was like 155 to 170, and I weighed in at 168. I don't want to say
he looks thinner, but he for sure had more Jiu Jitsu mobility than you had wrestler mobility.
Yeah,
like you had the strength, and you had maybe the like.
Yeah, and this is a jiu-jitsu tournament.
And see how afterwards your hands on the knees.
Yeah.
He's kind of walking out like.
Yeah.
Those jiu-jitsu guys, like, after that, I bet you he was like, I lost that, but he probably didn't mind. His coach was like, yo, you played a good game against a good opponent. So like you did play that aggressive like. But even though you looked not as technical, I still think like you grappled him for sure.
Yeah.
And finishing, that's like the only thing you gotta work on. It's just like repping just a simple arm bar like 40, 50 times and just kind of being like, okay. Or not even that, just going into a practice and being like, I'm gonna arm bar somebody.
Yeah.
Or going into just practice and be like, I'm gonna.
And that's another thing, like, I have good people in my practice, but there isn't a wide variety. You know what I mean? One of the people is huge, like 260 pounds.
But that's what you ask like a smaller guy who's like a high level belt, especially who has that experience, and just be like, yo, like, even you're smaller than me, like, how do you maintain staying on someone in the mount position, or when they do start bucking you off, how do you maintain a positive position? Because usually what happens to me, let's say like if I'm in mount and someone isolates like my right leg and starts bucking me, they come up like this. 9 times out of 10, like my left leg is trapped. I usually try to swing onto them or take their back. I wait them for them to make the move. Even though he wants to get his elbows in, I wait for them to make the move.
Yeah.
And so that's just what I've kind of experienced from it, but a lot of other guys will probably have a little bit more to tell you than just like, oh, wait for them to scramble.
Yeah.
But staying on mount, like, I hate staying in mount. It's just the worst.
Yeah, and after this I was pretty exhausted.
Yeah, 3 matches.
3 matches within like 45 minutes, I think. And this is the beginning of the last match. And in between this, there was some drama. My girlfriend got into like an argument with someone, and I thought I was about to leave because she wanted to leave. And she was like, no, stay for your last match. And I was like, oh, all right. But I'm still like tired. I'm still like pouring sweat. And let's see the next one. Immediately falls to his butt, and I'm like, all right. Let me try and get past his guard. All right.
See that
he does that shit. And right now I'm like, all right, I'm tired. I'm like, all right, do something, Isaac. Come on, let's work something. Oh, sweep, poop done. Not really. Then we're back into neutral position. I think I got points for the sweep. And then I'm like, oh, I'm tired.
And you're both just kind of playing that close game. You're not really playing an aggressive kind of like, you're playing a hand fighting game. You're kind of just feeling each other out.
And this is what I've been working in practice. I've been trying to work off my back because I know, like, I feel like I can take someone's back, but I wasn't anticipating them pulling guard. I don't know why. I'm working a butterfly guard right now.
And what I don't get is when people like right here, I would have this dude flying. Like, you see how your right foot's already visible?
Yeah.
If you see how you isolate one arm like that? If you still have that butterfly guard, grab one arm or even cup their head and just kind of roll back. Like, you're already kind of postured up and roll back a little bit. Because I'm not a big fan of sitting in butterfly guard rather than working from butterfly guard. Like, if I land in butterfly guard, I usually spring out of it.
I think right here, I'm working, and then the match stops. And as you guys can see right here, he's locking up a triangle. And I got triangles right there.
Here, go back a little bit, just to see the progression.
Alright, so I was on my back, and I'm trying to work that open guard game. I'm honestly hoping that I can get him into my guard.
He shoots for a guillotine, and
Yeah.
right there, right here, when you wanted that kind of, you were getting your both hands under, and you roll them. That's when you got to be careful, because especially if you get that first leg over.
Yeah.
If that leg comes back up.
Yeah.
And especially if
That's
you
what
don't
happened.
focus on that other leg that you're pinning, because you can push them up, and you can have like their left leg on your shoulder threatening an armbar. But if you're postured up and your kind of knee and arm on their leg, then it's fine. But mid roll,
Yeah.
it's tough to keep that pressure on, and
Like,
you just
look.
kind of slunk into it.
Like, I stacked him, and my elbow was under his knee, right? And he retracted it and slipped it out the other side for a triangle.
And he does a good job right there on having control on your bicep, because if he had let you extend that, like bring it back out and posture up, then it would have been, you would have had at least a second or two to get away from it. But he does a good job of having your bicep out, keeping it tight in there for him to lock it up.
Yeah.
But
And then I lost that last match. But I mean,
those are good matches though.
yeah, they were decent
Did you-
matches. I just have like a lot of puzzle pieces I need to fucking find. You know what I mean? Cause like,
So they just need to go back to just like regular kind of like, okay, mount armbar, mount
Yeah.
Kimura, like getting like sweeps, like just
Yeah.
OG basic stuff.
yeah, I do need to work some OG basic stuff.
It's like it showed that you're wrestling
OG
straight, and
mode.
it showed that you can be comfortable with like another Jiu Jitsu player. But
Yeah, I know. So what is good, you guys? That is the end of my podcast. We were about to watch Jesse's fights, but the video cut out, so I'm just giving you guys this short little section. I think it's like 30 minutes. But if you like my content, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I post new videos every single day, or I try to. So definitely hit that bell so you know when I post. But until next time, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace!